Okay, so this week, a bit of a different show. I've got the legendary artist from the rave hardcore jungle scene, Junior Tomlin, is here to do an interview. If you haven't heard of him, then you're involved in the jungle scene, you're most likely that you've seen his artwork at some point. So welcome to the show, Junior. How you doing?
I'm doing fabulously good.
Good to hear it. All right, so let's just jump straight into it. Can you tell me first, whereabouts did you grow up? Which area and which era were you growing up in?
I'm a product of the 60s, and I grew up in Ladbroke Grove, Notting Hill Gate.
Okay.
You know, the home of the good old Notting Hill Gate Carnival.
Yeah. Sadly, it's not going to be on this year, so I've heard. But
first time for everything.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. And how was it growing up there?
It wasn't too bad, actually. You know, there's been a lot of changes over the years where all the elders have died and moved on, and people have been moved on because of social regeneration and engineering. It's constantly evolving, the area.
Yeah. Okay. And this is a question from one of the other DJs actually on the station, Miss Monday.
Yeah.
She asked me to ask you this. How did you get into being an artist, firstly, and did you do art at school?
Yeah, because what happened here is that when I was at school, I used to love drawing and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I studied arts and went through the CSE, and then I went for the A level, which meant that I had to basically study the extra year to actually complete the A level art. I basically wanted to become a graphic designer.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was told that you need a grade A in A level in order for you to basically go to college and become and do the course as a graphic designer. But first, you have to go through foundation, the foundation course, and then a graphic design course. So that was my steps to actually become a graphic designer. So I've done 1 year's foundation after school at Barnshore School of Art, and then I went to Goldsmiths College for 3 years, and then left in 83.
Was that graphic design or fine art or?
It was graphic design. It had a lot of disciplines within that field, like photography, screen printing, airbrushing, but not digital art, because digital art was quite new at that particular time when I went to college. So they didn't even have up-to-date Macintosh computers. They only had the old type of computers with the green screen.
What was that? The BBC ones?
Well, they look like they were BBC ones, like prehistoric ones.
Right, yeah. So I remember we had the BBC ones when I was at school, showing my age as well now, but there you go. Okay, so you said that the first piece of work that you did for a record was Renegade SOUNDWAVE, Space Gladiator and the Phantom.
Yeah.
And to me, that's like a really iconic record for the artwork and for the sound of the record and everything. I think it's one of the ones that really got me into the whole sort of rave scene.
Nice one.
I was wondering if you can speak about the artistic process, what you used to design that one.
Yeah, the process was me talking to the band about what they wanted. Yeah. And they also gave me the names of the tracks, and Space Gladiator, really resonated with me because my work was basically science fiction stroke fantasy.
Yeah.
So I came up with, I think it was either them or me, both of us came up with a concept about a female RoboCop standing on the cracked planet Earth with a gun and a shield. And on the shield is the RSW. So I provided them with a series of roughs for them to basically pick, choose or refuse. So they picked one particular one there, and to make it better, I just basically made it a female. Because the rough that I showed them was all male orientated, so it makes perfect sense.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely, I think that's one that really stands out for me, in a lot of ways. That's a really good piece of work, So
it stands the test of time after all these years.
It has. I mean, I think that the cover and like I said to you the other day, the cover and the music still, even though it's 30 something years old now, it's really still sounds futuristic. It sounds really good when especially the Phantom, when the bass line drops in. It's just one of those like things, you hear it and it takes you back to a certain time, but it still sounds fresh.
It takes me back to 1989 when I've done it.
Right, yeah. So that's sort of moving on to the next question, actually. So how did you started doing a lot of rave flyers, and what was your connection to the rave scene at that time, and how did the flyers sort of come about?
At that time, I had no connection to the rave scene whatsoever. What it was, is before I was doing rave flyers, I was basically doing record covers, for dance music. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard of Kicking Records.
Yeah, actually, shout out to DJ Warlock. He's my mate. He used to do the A&R for them. Yeah. I don't know if you met him then as well. Yeah, Jason.
Nice one. But they used to do things for Kicking Records, Mute, Fashion, and other various record companies. Yeah, and that basically led me to actually meeting a rave promoter, because I basically went over to the offices of Kicking just to basically chill out, because that's what I usually do sometimes. And there I met my first rave promoter, who decided to put on a rave, and he asked me if I wanted to do artwork. So I basically jumped at the chance. And that first rave was Rave World, the one with the three floating heads, all blue.
Okay. All right. And which other raves did you work for after that?
Peace Fest.
Okay.
Life Utopia. Innocence at the Laserdrome.
Yeah.
One Nation. Slamming
Desire as well, was it? Desire as well, was it?
Desire. I don't think I did.
Okay.
Innocence at the Laserdrome.
Yeah, that's sort of leading me on to the next thing as well, because I remember the flyers for that really stood out, and I was living in Peckham at the time, actually, around 94, 95, so I used to go down there quite a lot, and that was when the whole jungle scene really, really blew up, really massive, sort of beginning of 94, and there was just,
those were the days.
All sorts going on down there in Laserdrome. So what other pieces were you doing around that time? Were you still, I guess you were still doing a lot of sleeve art for records. Can you run us through some of those as well?
Yeah, some of those. Groove Riders Hard Step Selection.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
One, yeah.
Rumble in the Jungle, Parts 1 and Part 2 for Fashion.
Yeah.
The Dark Side 1 and 2 for Reacts.
Okay.
Yeah, and other compilation albums to do jungle and actually single releases from The Scientist, where I've done The Bee and Exorcist, to Wish Doctor, Bannana Sausage. So it was basically dance music orientated until the jungle scene hit, and I ended up doing a whole lot of compilation jungle albums covers.
Yeah. And another one that I think he did was the Depth Charge. Deadly Sins. Because that's slightly different. It's got a photograph incorporated into it as well, isn't it? Of the.
No, that was all airbrush.
Oh, was it? Okay.
It was all airbrush, because it was that one I think was talking about is Dead by Dawn.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Because it basically had a zombie type
with the skull in the corner.
Yeah. It was basically falling to pieces as the sun was rising.
Right. Yeah.
Shafts of light going through his body.
Yeah.
That was a fun thing to do.
Yeah, that's another one. So that was, you said that was all sprayed and airbrushed then, yeah?
Yeah, in the good old days, it was
the whole thing.
Sprayed.
Okay. So were you going raving yourself in these years then? Did you go to the raves that you promoted, or?
Yes, Exactly. Exactly. The ones that I did, I asked them put me down on the guest list. So I basically went down to check it out to see what it was all about. And it's just an interesting vibe because everybody was like, so happy to be like dancing to music here, just drinking water, having a good time off their faces. It's brilliant. Listening to music, so loud that you can only listen to in your house for about 5-10 minutes before either the neighbours complain or your mum and dad tell you to turn it down.
Yeah. Sounds familiar. Yeah. So is there any that spring to mind? Has been like really good raves that you went to?
I went to a very good one for I think it was Peace Fest and One Nation. Bless you. Peace Fest and One Nation. It was like it was buzzing. It's really, really buzzing. And the thing is that when you either stay there for a couple of hours or you stay there for the long haul. Yeah. And I did it a couple of times where you stayed for the long haul and then you made your way home as you come outside of the rave there. The sun was coming up and you just basically wait for a bus.
Yeah.
Mad.
Dead by dawn again. Yeah.
Dead by dawn.
Okay. And did you do any flyers for KOOL FM back in the day?
No, I don't think I did. I knew of KOOL FM, but I didn't do any flyers for them. No one rang me up. No one sort of contacted me on the good old dog and bone.
Okay, because I know that they had some done by. I did ask the boss actually when I was telling him I was doing the interview, and he said he thought that he had done, but maybe it's getting mixed up with something else he was involved in. I know that Pez did a lot of them for KOOL FM actually.
Yeah.
So to look at the kind of style that you do, like seems to me it's like very unique and very futuristic style, and obviously it just didn't come from nowhere. So which other artists would you say influenced you in terms of you building your own look, your own identity?
I would say people like Christopher Foss.
Who's that?
Chris Foss.
Chris Foss. Okay.
Yeah, because he used to do a whole lot of like science fiction book covers.
Okay.
Yeah, for Asimov. Isaac Asimov.
All right. Yeah, I remember some of those. Yeah.
I liked him, Jim Burns, Salvador Dali, Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, all of the great masters and the comic book illustrators.
Yeah. Because I think there was lost what I was going to say now. Did he do that guy you're talking about? Did he do the cover for Neuromancer as well?
No, I didn't.
Because I don't know. That was just something that sprung to mind. That was kind of like obviously came before because I think it's from the 70s, but
because I know
similar to the style that you're talking about.
Because I know in the book, that's what was it, William Gibson.
William Gibson, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, I know of the book. I've actually got it, but I haven't read it yet.
Okay, yeah, it's quite a good one, yeah. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, because is it Cyberpunk that he was basically the architect of, or one of them.
Yeah, that's that. It's a kind of cyberpunk sort of style, I think. The cover. And also you mentioned to me the other day that you'd done some work for DC and Marvel Comics. Can you tell us something about that? What, like specifically, like what you were actually doing for them?
Because what I was doing for Marvel Comics here, I was doing digital coloring. So the comic book artist was to basically they would draw the whole strip in pencil.
Yeah.
Then ink it in just black and white, and so Marvel would send me the black and whites, all inked in, and I was to basically get it scanned in and digitally color it in Photoshop.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, make it look more realistic. Because I used to do strips, and then I used to do what's it? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah.
A whole lot of pocketbook covers for Marvel, Marvel Panini. And I also like worked on 2000 AD on Judge Dredd doing digital coloring.
Right. Okay.
Which,
That's quite impressive. That's quite an iconic sort of piece of art as well. 2000 AD.
Yeah, because even before that, even when I left college, I used to do. I worked on a film, called Nightbreed, a horror film by Clive Barker, as a creature technician.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, doing scopes, sculpting.
Okay, so is that for like the sort of special effects costumes and
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah. It's just, I was part of the special effects, department. Yeah, my job part was like creature technician.
All right, so you're not just you're not just, you have quite a range of different mediums that you work in as well. Then is there other ones you can tell me about besides that one?
Yeah, I've got another one. I worked for a special effects company in Soho for about 3 years as a texture map artist. So when people was to build the actual 3D models, they'll basically give it to me and ask me to basically texture it, skin it to make it actually look, believable.
Yeah.
So I was out there either sourcing out textures or photographing textures and actually mapping them onto the 3D polygons.
Okay.
That's my job, just to make it look believable and real. But it's fun.
Okay. Yeah, sounds like it. Yeah. So, obviously, you've been in the game for a long time as well, and like you were saying before, technology's advanced a lot, particularly over the last 10, 20 years or whatever. So, how do you feel like what have you had to do? What changed to adapt to sort of new, all the new techniques and stuff, and how do you feel about like the difference? I mean, obviously now everyone's got Photoshop or GIMP or these programs, so it's same as music. Everyone's got music software, so in a way it's more of a level playing field. But obviously, in the music world, a lot of people of the opinion that, it's too easy now these days, and rah, rah, rah. So how, what's your take on that?
Well, my take on it is because of the advance in technology, and there was a particular time in my art career doing Ray flyers where I wasn't getting most of my artwork back, so I decided one day to go fully digital.
Yeah.
So I got myself like an Apple Mac computer, got myself a Wacom digitizing tablet, and got myself a program called Painter, and that's when I started basically doing it all on computer. And the lovely thing about it, is that the style really didn't change. It just went from like one medium, the liquid medium, to a pixel medium, without skipping a heartbeat or anything. It was just one to another.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff I saw that you sent me the other day as well. It looks really, it doesn't look like it's really pixelated or digital really. It looks like it could have been done from scratch anyway. So
yes, it did nowadays. That's the beauty, because the computer graphics, computer art looks a little bit too clean.
Yeah.
So I'll find ways to dirty up the image. Yeah, otherwise it would just be it would look like it's just come out of a conveyor belt, out of a machine. Yeah. I just want to add more detail to it and grime it down.
Yeah, I think this is the same kind of thing that I'm hearing from a lot of music producers as well, because you can make everything too polished, And at the end of the day, they want, even if it's made on a computer, made digitally, a lot of producers like to put everything back through analog desks, 70s and 80s desks, to make it sound dirty and a bit more live,
Because it's a difference between like playing a vinyl,
yeah,
when you put the needle to the record and you can hear the crackle and the hiss. There you go. And on the flip side of that, you've got like a CD where it's totally clean, no hiss, a little bit sterile.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So which of the pieces you've created over the years are you most proud of?
I'm most proud of the first record cover that I did. Yeah, which was like the Phantom for Renegade Soundwave.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've got a few, and there's one from Dream Zone. I think it's the second Dream Zone run where you've got the floating woman's head above Stonehenge.
All right.
And I also got a liking to my first rave flyer, Rave World, with the 3 floating heads, all in blue.
Yeah.
Because that one's got a bit more story in it as well.
Yeah. So I noticed that you posted on Facebook today or yesterday that you were looking for the flyer with the gun,
Yes.
shaped like a gun. Have you had any joy finding that?
Yeah, I found it. I found that flyer, and it's quite interesting because I can't remember who gave me that commission. Yeah, and the lovely thing is that just getting one image, one print, one real flyer from it back, was basically worth it. Even though the event happened over in Zurich.
Yeah.
Which made it even more fun. My work has been to Germany. Nice.
Yeah. So again, like I mentioned Miss Munley before, she actually I told her that I was doing this interview, and she said that she's got a load of your flyers. If there's any that you're still looking for that you haven't got, to give her a shout, basically. So if there's any, and any of the listeners as well have got any, if there's any that you're still missing, like let us know. Let's see if we can find them for you.
Well, as I said when I put on some Facebook post here, is that if you've got any flyers of mine and you live in London, I'll meet you and sign them for you.
All right, yeah.
That goes out to all the people, all the ravers who've got record covers or flyers here. We can meet, have a coffee, have a beer, and I'll sign them.
I might have to dig out a few of mine for that then. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got a book coming out on the 1st of June.
Yes.
So can you tell us about that and what it's about and the rest of it?
Yeah, the book is on my 30 years of artwork doing record covers and rave flyers. So basically, it starts in 1989. Yeah. And the end of it basically is like, last year when I done my record covers for KOOL in the Hardcore and for DJ Rap's Intelligent Woman EP.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like from airbrush to digital. So you can see the whole transition of that 30-year period, told in the record covers and the rave flyers that I produced.
Right, yeah. And what sort of...
it's coming out on Velocity Press.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can send up a link so you can basically it's on pre-order. It should be coming out 1st of June, but because of all this coronavirus, going on, it might be delayed for a couple of weeks.
Okay. So if you go to Velocity Press, you can pre-order that now, though, can you?
You can order it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Velocity Press was it's run by a man called Colin Stevens. Yeah, it was the second. Do you remember Knowledge Magazine?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the man behind that.
Okay. Yeah. So I think they're still they've started operating again online now, haven't they?
Because they're doing books now, because they've got the 25th anniversary book of the Knowledge Magazine.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, that was a good magazine back in the days because you used to get a free mix CD as well. So
it was brilliant. Yeah,
I've still got a bunch of them somewhere. Yeah. So you mentioned about coronavirus as well, and I know that it's obviously like a really terrible situation, for the whole world. But I guess trying to take something positive from it is that a lot of people have had a lot of time to create things, do a lot of new artwork or music or whatever it is their passion is. So have you been busy yourself during the lockdown?
In a way, yeah. what I do is, I listen to it daily, on a daily basis, on the radio and on TV about the figures. First of all, it was like going up, and now it's falling. Yeah, but because now I do like some of my political pieces. Yeah. That jogs your memory. I'll put it down, and like little public information flyers. Just to spare people to basically like keep safe and protect yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's as you know, it's a terrible illness, and people are basically like dropping like right, left, and centre. But everybody has to like protect themselves, and like do the social distancing, take precautions and everything, and be safe.
Because
you've only got one life, and you've only got one crack of life, and this is it.
Exactly. Yeah. So, where can people find you on the internet and social media besides where your book is?
Well, on social media, you just type in Junior Tomlin, and you'll get me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the same thing for Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. Junior Tomlin, because I've got accounts on all of those, and that's how you can basically find me. Or you can just do a Google search, and when you get a page of lots of artwork, you know that you found me.
Okay, pretty straightforward then. So, what can you tell us? What plans you've got? Firstly, can you tell us what things work you've got coming out at the moment besides the book? If there's any pieces you've done recently?
Yes, I done a piece for Try Unity. Yeah, it was like a compilation album cover for them. So that's coming out soon. And another one is just totally escaped me. Yeah, it's just that I can't sort of like look for it and actually.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, right. But I've got two records that's coming out that with my imagery on it.
Yeah. Okay, and you mentioned that you've worked in like different mediums in the art world. Is there any sort of areas that you haven't yet explored that you'd like to get into in the future?
Interesting. I'd like to get in a little bit more into 3D. Create stuff in 3D, and I would like to get back into like modeling. Making actual things out of clay.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's what I enjoy doing. Yeah, that's one of my.
That's one of your clay works.
Yeah,
that's really nice. Yeah. Wow. And what did you just done that from clay and then just painted it? Or?
Well, painted, fired, and then glazed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the whole process. Because before, with that one, I basically sculpted an entire face. But the idea for the face, it was going to be a vase. It's going to be a flower vase that you basically hang on the wall and you put plants in it, to let it grow. And it's got a drainage point underneath the chin. And through the mold, because I made the mold of it, I basically punched in some clay. Yeah, took out the face, let it dry, and then it was fired. Yeah, just
quite a long process then to get to that.
Yeah, but it's work.
Sorry, have you ever considered doing some kind of sculpture of some of the work you've already done that you're known for? Like, say, would you consider doing one of the woman from the Phantom?
Yes.
And the globe and everything, because that's got bits that are cut out as well as.
Yeah, I have considered it. I've considered actually making that in a 3D computer model.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of my dreams that I want to basically explore. Actually, making that piece in 3D, so you can basically spin around it and see that it works.
Can imagine that being really interesting. Yeah. So it's glad to hear that you got a lot of that you're still working hard and you got a lot of plans for the future. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still looking for a piece of the work. I just want to make this book a success and get it out there to colleges, universities, all those places that are connected with art.
Yeah.
And everywhere else, and get it to as much people as possible.
Yeah.
Because it's a nice story. 30 years of art, visual arts that can basically inspire people.
I mean, the thing is obviously, like I said at the beginning, if you're part of the jungle scene, part of the rave scene, then people have definitely seen your work, and I know that it means a lot to a lot of people, and thanks for coming and doing the interview. Really, I mean, is there anything else that I've missed out that you want to say?
No, you pretty much covered it. I just want to say big shouts to everybody out there who knows me, who knows the arts, and I'll see you all at the other side of this lockdown when we're all free to roam the streets, wondering what are we going to do now.
Yeah. All right then. Well, thanks a lot for coming and doing the interview.
And thanks again.
And everyone, you can buy the book from Velocity Press. Google Velocity Press, and you'll find the book that's coming out 1st of June. And I wish you all the luck with that anyway.
Yeah.
And take care, and I'll see you on the other side as well.
Same here. Take care. Keep in touch. Right.